Look, I'm all for Disney hiring outside the organization for its new CEO, but yikes! Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. The race for Big Bob Iger's Disney CEO throne is on, and it's starting to look like the internal candidates are all flaming out. With winners like Dana Walden, Josh D'Amaro, and Jimmy Pitaro, it's no wonder that the Disney board is keeping its options open. The Disney company is a once great empire that's crumbling and floundering before our very eyes. It stands to reason that the people currently running the various divisions of that company are part of the rot eating away at it. That means elevating one of them up to the role of head honcho would be just like switching your seat on the Titanic.
Oh, I see. Oh, it was no one's fault. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well then, problem solved.
But isn't it just so perfectly like the Disney company to make the right decision and yet move in the wrong direction with it? Because according to reports close to the situation, Iger and the Disney board are looking at this guy right here. No, that's not Sporticus from Lazytown, nor is it handsome Squidward. The guy you see in front of you is Andrew Wilson, and he's the CEO of EA.
Son of a bitch!
You know EA, right? As in EA Games, as in EA Sports, as in consistently voted the worst, most god-awful company in the world? Yeah, that EA. The endless microtransactions, the mindless DEI pandering, the predatory pay-to-play mindset, and shady business practices. That EA.
Well, how about that?
How the hell does that even happen? Well, while we don't know how or why, we can tell you what insanity is going on within the House of Mouse today on Tooney TV. All right, Disney eyeing EA CEO Andrew Wilson to replace Bob Iger. There's the sentence I never thought I'd hear myself say. So this comes to us from That Park Place, written by yours truly, Marvin Movie Monster, Marvin Montanero. Now, as you guys know, I am the editor-in-chief of That Park Place now, and some of you might be asking yourselves, oh, well, then, why is he just reading his own articles? What value does that have? So let me explain to you my mentality regarding the website and the channel very quickly before we get into this, is that I take a very news-centric approach to my articles. I believe that editorializing is not something that we should be doing in the entertainment news. And so you don't see my opinions in these articles. You just see the facts, because I believe that when you just state the facts, the truth will tell itself. So what you're getting when you read the articles is the facts. You're getting my writing. But then when you watch the videos, now we kind of get the director's cut of these articles, and I get to break them down for you, and you get my actual opinions on the subjects that I'm writing about. So if anything, the new role with That Park Place adds another extra cool layer to the Tooney TV experience. So there he is, old Bob Iger, looking like he has no idea where he is. So Disney could hire EA CEO Andrew Wilson to take over for Bob Iger. The search for Bob Iger's replacement as CEO of the Walt Disney Company is on. And while many initially thought Disney would turn to an internal candidate like Disney Entertainment co-chair Dana Walden or Disney Parks and Experiences head Josh D'Amaro, it seems as though the company is looking outside the mouse house for its next big cheese. I'm proud of that pun.
That sounds like a Fat Albert joke.
To identify a potential replacement for Iger, Disney enlisted the aid of headhunting firm Heydrich and Struggles. That's a name and a half. They came back with 3 candidates, one of which is EA CEO Andrew Wilson. This was first reported by the Wall Street Journal, citing inside sources within the Walt Disney Company. So this is not just like, oh, he said, she said. The Wall Street Journal is reporting this. So we can kind of take it to the bank. Disney is leaking that to the Wall Street Journal too. It's not like that. It's not like these leaks are actually leaks. When the legacy media access media gets their hands on something from Disney, you can much be sure that it came from Disney. So now, while the hunt for a new Disney CEO is still very early on, despite Bob Iger claiming that he'd focus on identifying a replacement when he returned to the company after ousting Bob Chapek 2 years ago, that was it. When Bob Iger came back, he's like, oh, it's just kind of a placeholder. I'm here. I'm going to find my replacement. I'm obsessed with finding my replacement. I got to find and bring together my big replacement. he has made no move to try and do that. O.J. Simpson made more of an attempt to find the real murderers than Bob Iger has made to find a successor for the Walt Disney Company. He does not. I don't think he wants to go anywhere. It's interesting that Disney would consider the EA CEO, giving the gaming company spotty history. The EA studio gained a reputation in the 2010s for gobbling up smaller studios for their IPs, forcing changes that impacted the quality of their games, and then shutting them down once they failed.
I am assuming direct control.
And I did have a little opinion, but I couldn't help myself, which, come to think of it, does sound an awful lot like Disney. That's the point that I'm trying to make here, is that like, as bad as EA is, all the things that we find bad about EA are actually things that Disney would find good, because all the stuff that they do. So in gaming circles, it was dubbed the Evil Empire, which I've heard Disney be called plenty of times before, and won Consumerist's Worst Company in America award for both 2012 and 2013. It was also named the 5th most hated company in the United States by USA Today in 2018. Now, EA is known for being a studio that loves including loot boxes, microtransactions, and paid DLC into its games. It's been accused of nickel and diming players and allowing those with more money to pay to play and ultimately gain unfair advantages over others, which also sounds familiar. Lightning Lane Premium Pass, anybody? Most recently, EA has made headlines with the release of Dragon Age: The Veilguard, a AAA game that was in development for more than a decade and has reportedly sold somewhere around 500,000 copies with 30,000 returns. The game prioritizes ESG and DEI themes throughout and often lectures the player on social matters. That is true, and here's a screenshot from it right here, guys. I'm playing it right now. It is a chore and a half. Like, I work all day, and then at the end of the day, when I can play video games, it's like another chore to have to come back and play this game. Like I thought you could just kind of like bypass all of the DEI and stuff like that, but you can't. All the virtue signaling is baked right into the very core, the very soul of this game. I was trying to just get through a normal conversation, and all of a sudden I was in a lecture about cultural appropriation from this lady with the horns over here, who, by the way, these are thieves and like tomb robbers who are lecturing me about cultural appropriation. So Wilson is a huge proponent of DEI initiatives, speaking openly about the need for representation in gaming in a letter on EA's official website. He said, living, growing franchises like Apex Legends, The Sims, EA Sports, FC, college football, and Madden NFL reflect our commitment to inclusivity, community-driven play, and expanding authentic representation in our games. And he goes on to say a lot more DEI things. So he is full, and I said, the more I write, the more I start to think this might actually be a match made in heaven, because he's talking exactly like Bob Iger. While Wilson took the CEO position with EA in 2013, he's been with the company since May of 2000. Before rising to the CEO role, he was the executive VP of EA Sports in Origin. He also led the global EA Sports business and EA's digital PC service. Before that, he was the leader of EA's online organization. This included the company's business operations and direct-to-consumer services in Asia. Now, it should be noted, he worked in the very top of EA Sports around the time, I believe the timeline matches up, when they were accused of stealing the likenesses of college football players and college basketball, like college athletes. South Park did a whole episode about it. If you've ever seen the Crack Baby basketball episode of South Park, it's a whole thing about EA stealing, essentially, stealing the identities of all of these college athletes, making buckets of money off of them and giving them nothing in return. Additionally, Wilson was the VP and executive producers of all EA Sports FIFA games. Now, so he's in bed with FIFA. And if you guys know anything about FIFA, it's like the most corrupt organization on the planet. I mean, like, FIFA's corruption runs deep. They descend on these countries that have the World Cup like a plague of locusts, and just like look into what they did to Brazil sometime, because it's absolutely insane. These arenas that they had them build in preparation for the World Cup, they're literally just parking lots now because they have no teams that can actually play in them. But FIFA didn't care. So according to the Washington Journal article, Wilson interviewed to take over ESPN in 2018 and even engaged in talks with Bob Iger about selling EA to Disney. However, the negotiations ultimately fell through. Now, EA did work with Disney, though, because they had a license for the Star Wars games for a really long time. I believe they do still make some, but they don't have exclusivity anymore. They used to, and we all remember Battlefront 2, which was just such a disaster with all the loot boxes, and that was when they really started getting hammered for the pay-to-play stuff. So up until now, many assume that the 4 division bosses in Disney's C-suite encompass the shortlist for Iger's successor. That includes Disney Entertainment co-chair Dana Walden, Disney Entertainment co-chair Alan Bergman, ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitaro, and Disney Parks Experiences and Products head Josh DeMauro. which Josh Tomorrow, I hate him so much. Like, I hate his stupid face. But Dana Walden kind of seemed to be the heir apparent. Now, here's the thing. Guys, I say this without getting political at all, without letting you guys know where I fall politically or who or what I do politically. Dana Walden was being highly considered because I believe it's because she is very close friends with Vice President Kamala Harris. And they believed that if she won the election, then having the bestie be the president of the United States would have been a very easy way for Disney to get whatever they wanted. But as we all know, that didn't happen. So now apparently Dana Walden is on the outs because now she's no longer useful to the board. So now, however, it seems as though the House of Mouse is ready and willing to look elsewhere. The company recently announced that Morgan Stanley chairman James Gorman will become chairman of the Disney board as of January 2nd, 2025. He recently oversaw the succession process at Morgan Stanley, and Disney named him head of its CEO succession committee, which I'm just like, my goodness, thank goodness. Like, finally, there's an adult in the room. Like, this guy's actually like a legit real deal. He's going to come in and actually like straighten this out. But now they're looking at the EA guy, so who knows? So he said a critical priority before us is to appoint a new CEO, which we now expect to announce in early 2026. So we got a whole other year of just dealing with like listening to them talk about this. This timing reflects the progress and the succession planning committee and the progress of the progress of the succession planning committee and the board are making, and will allow ample time for a successful transition before the conclusion of Bob Iger's contract in December of 2026. So do you guys think we're going to see, them hire the EA CEO to lead the company? I personally don't. I don't think it's ever going to come to that. I'm pretty sure that we're going to end up seeing somebody else, because I can't imagine a guy that, has headed up a video game company is really like the guy that they're going to mark as being like ready next in line to take over one of the biggest movie and it's a movie, television, technology and theme park company all in one. That's not a job that anyone could just walk in off the street and take. But who knows? Maybe they'll just give it to Kathleen Kennedy or something like that. Maybe they'll really throw us for a loop. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that, maybe this is a match made in heaven? Maybe it's a good thing to bring in the head of EA to take over Disney. Maybe I'm not seeing something. If that's the case, explain it to me. I'm not so stubborn in my opinions that you can't sway me with a well-reasoned argument. So sound off in the comment section below and let me know. EA. That's really where we're going. EA, it's ludicrous. You might as well make Flint Hot Glomgold the new CEO of the Walt Disney Company. Glomgold! 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 But as I said before, when you look at everything Williams has done with EA, from the nickel and diming of customers to the pay-to-play model to the endless DEI pandering, he might actually be a perfect fit. I defeated Scrooge McDuck! We were on the same team! But that's a perfect fit in the minds of Bob Iger and the Disney board, and therein lies the real heart of Disney's problem. The people choosing the next boss are the same people that propped up the old one and then brought him back. Nelson Peltz tried to facilitate real change by waging a proxy war to get himself on the board, but that ultimately failed, and the emperor with no clothes is just continuing to swing his dong around for all the world to see. What the Walt Disney Company really needs is the Netflix co-CEO model. You need an idea machine and a number cruncher. You need a visionary and a business person. You need a Walt and a Roy. And that's something they just don't seem to be making any more of these days. Thanks for tuning in, and a special thanks to our Tooneytown TV channel members. You guys are the ones with the power level of over 9,000 who bring us back each and every day to pick apart this Hollywood mess. And for that, we thank you with special perks like early access to all Tooneytown TV videos, including this one, and special exclusive content like our weekly members-only live stream every Friday at 2 p.m. EST. So if you're not a member of the Tooneytown TV channel, then join today. And please join us on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. EST for Tooney Talk TV, a live stream pop culture podcast where you can make your voices heard as a part of the Tooneytown community. If you liked what you saw here today, please like, share, and subscribe. Click that bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. From all of us here at the Tooneytown channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!